Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Southern Virginia University basketball from the Knight Sports Arena. I'm Jim Bresnahan, joined by Seth Hansen as we are ready to bring you Knights basketball tonight. Southern Virginia University hosting the Christopher Newport University Captains. And in just a few seconds, we'll have the starting lineups announced for the Knights. The Knights coming into this basketball game with a record of 2-4 in the Capital Conference, and they are 7-6 overall, facing Christopher Newport, 4-2 in the conference. 10-3 overall. They'll be facing a Christopher Newport team that lost on Saturday to Marymount 60-58. So I guess one of two things is going to happen, Seth. Either that loss to Marymount for Christopher Newport is going to perhaps bring them down as we get the announced of the starting lineups. Justin Prisby, one of the starters, or obviously CNU is going to try to build upon that loss and really rebound tonight.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It could go either way. We'll find out right now what CNU is made of, how they bounce back from that. If nothing else, though, it's kind of created a blueprint for Coach Caputo. He can see what they did to beat CNU on Saturday, maybe implement that into his game plan tonight. Though the story of the night might be, as we know, Cale Thornton, normally the starting center, and his backup, Tyler McCready. Those two usually rotate at center. Both of them went down this week with injury. Cale was in last game, his hamstring, and the word is McCready turned his ankle in practice this week.
And so we saw the starting lineups. We saw Winslow and Prisby, but we also saw Roombaugh, Alec Johnson, and Bennett Canlin getting the start. So Bennett Canlin and Spencer Brown are two guys that might really have to step up tonight in replace of Tyler McCready and Cale Thornton.
Oh, exactly. And the biggest task for them will be on the defensive end, I feel. I think Coach Caputo is going to rely on some of his outside shooters, Roombaugh, Prisby, guys who get to the bucket quite frequently. That's going to be their offensive game plan, but he's got to talk. I'm sure he's preaching to Canlin and to Brown that they've got to play stout defense. That's what they need from them tonight. And we should be in for a good one.
In the women's game, the first game earlier this evening, we had Christopher Newport over Southern Virginia 92-57. CNU showing from a women's team standpoint just how dominant they are.
Yeah, these CNU Knights, both their programs very good in the Capital Athletic Conference, so definitely a big test as we saw for the women tonight and now for the men.
And so we are ready to go here from the Knight Sports Arena. CNU hardly even jumping for that opening tip. And so the Knights will go to work with their first offensive possession. Again, the starting five out there: Alec Johnson, Winslow, Roombaugh, Prisby, and Bennett Canlin. And they go down low to Canlin. He works in the paint, had the ball knocked away from behind and taken away.
Not what you want to see on that first start. Turnovers are going to be a huge factor for the Knights. If they want to keep this one close, have a chance to win, they got to limit those.
And a turnover for the CNU captains as Aaron McFarland was not able to handle that pass along the sidelines. It'll be interesting to see if the captains really want to shoot the ball from the outside right away, or if they try to focus on the inside game with Thornton and McCready, again, not playing tonight for the Knights. Captains like to shoot the three. They're about 35% from three-point range as a team this season. Roombaugh working down low, fires and hits.
I imagine you'll see a lot of that tonight. Look for Prisby and Roombaugh to play in the paint as much as they can. Again, without Cale Thornton and Tyler McCready, that was a good offensive possession by the Knights.
And while you don't really refer to Roombaugh and Prisby as big guys, they play big.
Oh, they definitely play bigger than their size. They have a good feel for the game inside the paint right there. Just see if they can keep taking advantage of it.
And Spencer Marine getting the first two of the game for the CNU captains, so we're all even at two. Prisby thought about taking a three, drives instead, shoots and can't get it. Got his own rebound, though. Puts it back up, blocked. No foul call. And now we've got a jump ball possession arrow. The call, and it's going to go to the captains.
It was a great effort there by Prisby. Got his own rebound even. Just better defense by the captains, excuse me.
Opening minutes of the game, all even at 2. Played about a minute and a half. Captains work it down low, and getting free was Kutch Ellis. He got around Prisby for the 2, and the captains have their first lead tonight at 4-2. Knights will try to respond down by 2. Alec Johnson has really been stepping up his game. Looks inside, goes to Rumbaugh, who can shoot from the outside. Aaron double teamed, though, gives up his dribble. Now the shot clock is at 5, and Alec Johnson forced to shoot, and he hits.
That was a great bailout by Alec Johnson. You see Canlin get the ball, and he doesn't have as many minutes and experience on the season. He doesn't look confident in shooting. He's trying to find those other shooters.
And down low, getting away from Canlin was Spencer Marine. And he's able to get his second basket in. The Captains just like that back on top here, 6-4. Johnson driving. He gives up his dribble. Gets it back from Rumbaugh. Johnson. They go to the left side to Winslow. Baseline drive, no good. No foul call again. Rebound comes the way to the Captains. They go off on a break. And a firing three from the left corner is no good. There is Marine with a rebound block. He got his own rebound again, misses on the second attempt. On the floor, picked up by Marine again. And now we're going to have a foul call.
Man, Marine was all over that. 2 offensive rebounds right there on his own shots. They got to box out. That's another thing that Thornton and McCready really bring to the table for the Knights defensively and offensively. Canlin's got to do a better job there boxing out.
Marine is a 6'7", 210-pound senior out of Springfield, Virginia. Missed badly on that foul shot. He came in averaging 12.4 a game. But 11 of 33, just 33% shooting foul shots on the season. And he missed badly on that first foul shot. The second one is good, though. And now the big guy for the Christopher Newport Captains comes into the game. The sophomore Savante Chappell, 6'5", 285 pounds, out of South Boston. South Boston, Virginia. 7-4, Captains on top. Rumbaugh fires and hits.
Yep, that was great. Great take by Rumbaugh. He understands what the situation is. He understands he probably needs to step up and be more aggressive offensively. That was great to see early on.
This is McFarland out of the corner. Fakes inside, goes down low to Kutch Ellis. He can't score. There is the big guy, Chappell, and he scores. The 285-pound sophomore Savante Chappell scoring inside. 9-6, Captains by 3. Prisby works down low. Good defense by Kutch Ellis. He took it away from Prisby, and then Prisby in the open court is called for a bump foul. He didn't like that call. So it's the second team foul of the Knights, first on Prisby. Marcus Stubbs will check into the game, a freshman for the Captains. Also checking in for the first time, Brock Iman, another freshman for the Christopher Newport Captains. And obviously, Seth, not only as we mentioned in the pregame where we've got Canlin and maybe Spencer Brown getting a lot more playing time tonight, having to step up, but it also reduces the bench possibilities for Tony Caputo.
Yeah, you're limited without that depth, especially at one position. May see some smaller lineups coming your way this game.
Missing on the drive was Stubbs, but the rebound goes to the Captains. Guyman will fire a jumper. It rims out. And the rebound of the Knights, who only trail here by 3. Rumbaugh running the floor, stopping, shooting, and hitting again.
He's heating up. That's good to see. Definitely finding his stroke early. That mid-range jumper is kind of where Rumbaugh lives. Let's see how the Captains adjust to that, because it's the second time in a row now he's done that.
You know, without the big guys, without Thornton and McCready, the Knights might want to run more tonight.
Oh, I definitely would, especially they've got big guys like Chappell. I'm sure he's not used to running the floor completely.
Gibbs got free, went right through the Knights' defense that time, Seth, and got an easy layup.
Yeah, they did. But any way you can wear down some of these big guys for CNU, that's what you got to do. You can definitely see the size advantage that Chappell has on Canlin down in the paint right there.
3-point lead right now for the Captains. Rumbaugh down low to Canlin. Nice pass inside to Prisby. Couldn't handle it. Taken away by Gibbs. Gibbs working up court. He'll go to the right side. Pass inside. Chappell back outside to Gibbs. And now McFarland with a long jumper. He couldn't hit it. Another offensive rebound temporarily by the Captains, but it's taken away by the Knights. (11-8). Right now a 3-point lead for Christopher Newport. Knights not able to hit on their offensive end. This is Gibbs driving down the lane, hands it off, easy two. That one put home by Stubbs. And now the Captains have a 5-point lead at 13-8. Alec Johnson right back the other way. Splitting defenders and scoring.
There you go. Yeah, he's another one of those guys. You really can. He's not the biggest guy, but he can certainly drive in and make some plays around the hoop, and that's what they need.
McFarland with the shot blocked out of bounds by Canlin.
Man, good work by Canlin. Anticipate that shot and come up big. That's what they need from him all night.
And we've got a timeout on the court with the Knights trailing here 13-10. We'll take a break here from the Knight Sports Arena.
I signed up for my first art class, and I just fell in love with what we were doing. When you're learning, you need to be challenged to a point that you're willing to work harder, and that's what I needed.
To me, I felt like I didn't just want to learn how to create art. I wanted to know what to create art about.
The things that you read and you see and you expose yourself to automatically come out in your art. And you can't separate what you're letting into your mind with what's coming out in your art.
Part of being an aspiring artist is not only developing your artistic voice, but also you have something to say. And honestly, I would have nothing to say if it weren't for its education.
Welcome back to the Knight Sports Arena. Jim Bresnahan, Seth Hansen here with you, bringing you all the action tonight of Southern Virginia University and Christopher Newport in men's college basketball. The Knights trailing right now 13-10, 13:23 to go first half, Seth. And Aaron Rumbaugh's got a couple of baskets that have allowed the Knights to creep within 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, Rumbaugh's leading the way right now. He's got 6 points to start this half, couple mid-range jumpers. That's really where his comfort zone is. The name of the game right now, though, they're getting out-rebounded. They're getting out-rebounded 8-3 at the moment. A handful of offensive rebounds as well for the Captains. So the Knights need to clean that up. They need to box out. They got to stop giving extra possessions to CNU.
And Spencer Brown's into the game for the first time tonight, along with Jaron Anderson, the freshman. We'll see if Jaron can get his offensive game going because the Knights really need it. Step-back jumper by McFarland, in and out. And on the floor, battle for it. Jump ball and possession arrow this time, I believe, will favor the Knights.
Boy, and Coach Caputo does not look happy with that sequence. It looked like there was a lot of contact. Not sure where the foul call was, at least from Coach Caputo's point of view. But at least in their favor, the possession arrow was going their way.
Knights 5 of 9 early on shooting, 6 of 14 for Christopher Newport, but as you mentioned, that 8-3 rebounding edge right now for CNU.
And that's been their Achilles heel in a handful of games this season. They've given up too many rebounds, and the task is going to be especially tall for them tonight without without Tyler McCready and Cale Thornton.
Sam Armstrong also out there as Rumbaugh gets free for his 8th point of the first half. It's 13-12. You know, the Knights 3 years ago in overtime in the 2014-15 season, they defeated Christopher Newport 60-59 in overtime just about 3 years ago. And I'm sure Tony Caputo would like to see a repeat of that tonight.
And you know what? His team's playing with good energy and good confidence right now.
Nice pass to Spencer Brown. And he got hit from behind. The ball pops loose. On the floor, Christopher Newport.
They're certainly letting him play tonight. That as well, I felt like that could have been called a foul depending on who the referee is, but they're letting him play, and that's probably a good thing. We don't want to see too many whistles out here.
Interesting, too, that Christopher Newport could have easily called a timeout to maintain possession. Both these teams have tough games coming up this coming weekend. On Saturday, the Knights will be hosting Salisbury, and we'll have both the men's and the women's basketball games against Salisbury for you on Saturday. Christopher Newport, they got to go play at York on Saturday. And York is right now at number 8 in the country, 6-0 in the conference, 13-0 overall. So that's a tough task for CNU next Saturday. Last Saturday had to go to Marymount. Next Saturday on the road at York.
Yeah, as we know, the Capital Athletic Conference is no joke. You got to play with the best if you're going to be in this conference.
Marine outside as CNU works it around the perimeter and takes the three-point shot, missing again from three-point range. And over the back on the rebound, I think the Knights are going to pick up another team foul.
Yeah, Jaron Anderson trying to tip it back to him. We didn't have the best angle here, but he was trying to tip him back. There must have been some contact, though, to draw the foul.
So that's the third team foul on the Knights. First on Anderson, inbounds on the baseline. The jumper was so wide open that the shot was missed by Egner. And the Knights have the ball with a chance to actually take the lead here. Rumbaugh, who's already got 8 points, shoots and couldn't get that one to go. It rimmed out.
Yeah, it was a pretty good look. Good body control there. Just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
And a three-pointer missed again by CNU. Tough miss there, and the captains are really struggling from three-point range. And again, the Knights can take the lead with a basket. Hardy passes over to Rumbaugh, knocked out of bounds, last touched by the captains.
You see CNU right now, they are playing out. They're not packing the middle because they understand that the scoring from the Knights is going to come from their guard play, not so much some of these younger centers. So you see them pressuring the ball. They're not giving anything easy. See how Southern Virginia responds to that.
And again, the Knights can take the lead with a basket. This is Hardy. Colson Hardy with it outside, gets a pick. Back to Anderson. He'll fire the three. It's up and good.
Oh, man, maybe Jaron Anderson will have another game that we saw earlier, trying to bounce back from that stomach bug he had earlier this year. They need him to show up tonight if they want a shot at this game.
Marine loses the ball. It's picked up outside. Captains still have it. Inside to Cutch Ellis. Down low to Marine, and he gets the shot to go over Spencer Brown.
And you can't let Marine go. He's averaging 12 points a game this year. You've got to know where he is. He kind of just got behind Brown there for the easy bucket.
Hardy going all the way. He gets double teamed, gets it over to Spencer Brown, and he scores. Nice dish by Colson Hardy.
And great finish by Brown. That was a big time finish, fighting through the contact.
Now the captains will go back to work. Outside with the ball is Edmond, driving, shooting, scoring. And the captains even this game at 17. Knights right back up the court. 10:18 to go till halftime. Spencer Brown outside with it. Anderson will fire another three. No good this time. Brown battling for the rebound. It's pulled out, though, by Edmond. Three-pointer by the captains. No good again from three-point range. And Anderson with the rebound after the miss by Nick Parks. Fast break. Rumbaugh all the way. Oh, it bounds out. No foul call.
I'm not sure how there was no foul either way there. There was a lot of contact after the shot.
And Marine down low. Couldn't get the shot to go. Over the back. Ball knocked out of bounds. No foul call, but it looks like it's going to be Knights basketball. A lot of contact out there on both ends of the court.
And that, to me, that just can't not be a foul, even if you're going to call it offensively. But they ran into each other. It certainly had an effect on the play. I guess maybe because it was after the shot, but, man, you have to call something there. That's not a no call.
Well, right now the captains, they have yet to hit a three-pointer. They've taken 5, 6, maybe 7 three-point shots, and they've yet to convert from three-point range. And we'll see if that continues. As we mentioned, they came in hitting about 35% as a team from three-point land.
CNU still pressuring the ball out at the three-point line. They don't want the guards to get any type of rhythm.
Not a good pass there by Spencer Brown, picked up by McFarland. Turnover for the Knights. Captains still working the ball around the perimeter, not really going inside. Now they go inside to Cutch Ellis near the foul line. Another three-pointer by the captains, missed badly. An air ball. Boy, they are not able to hit from three-point land at all right now. Nick Parks missing that one, didn't even draw iron.
No, and you know, the Knights are playing good D. They're getting hands in the face and everything, but you're right. They're just stone cold right now from three. The Knights got to take advantage because you got to assume at some point they're going to heat up and start hitting threes.
If they don't heat up, an upset certainly is possible tonight for the Knights. And Hardy has it outside. Nice pass, but it's knocked away. Picked up by Cutch Ellis, ahead to McFarland. He goes all the way and scores. Aaron McFarland with the breakaway layup gives the Captains the lead back at 19-17.
And they need to just protect the ball better. That was a great look and a great idea, but you got to be positive you can make that pass before making it.
Johnson, foul line jumper. He left his short. Rebound tipped out. Prisby's got it.
And the clock resets, so reset up your offense.
Hardy. Oh, a tough miss there.
It was a good look. That's a good shot.
McFarland will try a three, and he hits. And McFarland has a couple of baskets back-to-back to suddenly give the Captains a 5-point lead.
And I think it's good. Hardy took that shot. It was open. You're certainly going to have to hit some threes to win this game, in my opinion. You're going to have to find your stroke from three a little bit to give you that advantage because you know CNU is going to take their shots and hit them eventually.
Anderson down low to Prisby, and he was fouled, and Justin Prisby will go to the foul line.
And the Knights now looking at the live stats, they've doubled their turnovers. They've got 6 now in the first half versus CNU only has 1.
That made 3 by McFarland was, I believe, the first three-pointer that the Captains had made tonight.
They've got to protect the ball. They've got to protect the ball and make the most of their offense possessions. You see Prisby misses that first foul shot right there.
Prisby missing them both. Unusual for Justin Prisby to miss those foul shots. Came in averaging about 12.8 a game. And another three-pointer again by McFarland. I believe he's got 8 straight points. He has single-handedly put CNU on top 25-17. It was 17-17, but McFarland with a couple of threes and a layup makes it an 8-point game. Here's Canley with an offensive rebound. His hook shot is up and no good. Ball knocked out of bounds. Knights really battling there, and as a result, we're going to have the basketball as we got Rumbaugh and Winslow checking back in for Southern Virginia.
And going back to McFarland, you've got to find something to stop him on defense. As you mentioned, he's got 8 points now. He's hit 2 threes. They don't want him to heat up. You don't want him to take this game over by himself.
And he is their leading scorer, averaging 17.9 a game.
So the kid can certainly shoot. I imagine CNU's not happy with how close this game is right now. He might be trying to take it over. You've got to shut him down somehow.
Down low, Canlin's got it. Back out to Rumbaugh. He'll fire the three. It's up and no good, too strong. Battle for the rebound, pulled away by the Captains. They race up court. All the way, layup blocked by Rumbaugh.
Great defense by Rumbaugh. Going the other way now. Someone make a play here.
It's Winslow. He thought about taking the three. Drives instead. Canlin down low, Prisby. Prisby put it on the floor and lost it. Pulled away by McFarland. Another three by the Captains. This one is no good. Everybody missing except for McFarland. And McFarland's little 8-point run himself has given the Captains this 8-point lead at 25-17. Knights are really trying to snap this dry spell here, Seth.
Yeah, they need to find something here.
Prisby out of position for that shot, couldn't get it to go.
He was looking for some contact there. Looks like getting the ball to Prisby isn't a bad way to break up a dry spell, but couldn't finish there.
This is not one of those games, at least here in the first half, as McFarland fires again and hits, and now he has 11 straight points.
Yep.
And we've got a timeout on the court, 6:08 to go, and suddenly it is 28-17. Christopher Newport, let's break away for this message.
My name is Bailey Rusick. I'm a sophomore here at Southern Virginia University, and I'm from Highland, Utah. Currently, I'm the activity senator, and I'm also on the golf team. This season is only a couple weeks in, and it's going great. We have a lot of potential, and we could go really far. I would recommend everything about SVU. I love the fact that I know all my professors personally, and that they know who I am, and they know my goals, my desires, and they're here to help me achieve that. You come to love this campus and appreciate it and feel like this energy that comes from it, and then you go home for a little bit and you just want to be back. Anyone who's considering to come out to SVU, just do it, because the opportunities here are amazing. I think that's what matters most.
Well, no question, McFarland is single-handedly in the last couple of minutes here, Seth, taking this game over. It was 17-17. McFarland got a layup. Then he's hit 3 straight three-pointers. He's got 11 single-handed points in a row for the captains, and all the same while the Knights have not been able to dent the scoreboard, and as a result, a tie game at 17-17 is suddenly an 11-point deficit for the Knights.
Yeah, and excuse me, McFarland comes in tonight shooting 40% from three, so he certainly can do it. As well to note, Marcus Carter, their big three-point shooter who shoots 46%, is not playing in this game, appears to be hurt, so you know McFarland is trying to pick up the slack for those three-point shots, and he's doing a great job of it. 11 straight
Carter
points.
has missed a lot of games. He's only played in 6. Of course, the captains back in December got upset on the road at Frostburg, and then they were really shocked by Marymount, 60-58 on Saturday. But, then again, Marymount's got a pretty good record right now in the conference. Overall, they're not just 4-9, but they are 3-3 in the conference, and they're a game ahead of the Knights. That was a big win for Marymount over CNU, but I'm sure the captains, especially with York coming up on Saturday, they are really, really focused on this game tonight.
Yeah, they, especially if, dropping that last one. They're looking to rebound and get back on track here tonight.
Winslow will drive. Give it off to Alec Johnson, and he can't hit. That one rims out. Another tough miss for the Knights. And the drought continues for Southern Virginia. This is Gibbs. See if anybody but McFarland can score, because McFarland is not out there right now. And we'll see if the captains can get their offense going without McFarland.
Yeah, interesting to pull McFarland out when he's been the leading scorer. Coach for CNU, he certainly plays a lot of players, got a lot of guys in the game so far.
Wild shot by the 285-pound Chappell. He couldn't hit. Rumball leads the break, goes over to Winslow with a long three. It's good by Kellen Winslow.
Big time shot by Kellen Winslow there. That's great to see. Good fast break points by the Knights. They need a defensive stop right now.
28-20, and almost a steal by Rumball. He did steal the ball. Ahead to Winslow. Winslow all the way off balance. Couldn't get the shot to go. A scramble for the rebound. Canlin had it, lost it, and on the floor it's picked up by Gibbs. Gibbs runs the break. Ahead the pass comes to Chappell, and now the captains will set up the offense.
That was a scary moment there. Winslow and Canlin bumping into each other. Hope they're both all right.
And a wild layup attempt, no good by Harrington. Here's Alec Johnson with it near the top of the key. He dribbles down the right side, shoots and scores. 28-22.
Great take. He saw Chappell kind of move out of position. As Alec Johnson made it look like he was going to dish it off, he saw Chappell move, and he saw his lane and just went and took it. Great offense right there.
Captain still looking for some offense beyond Aaron McFarland, number 1. Another three-point attempt, and this one finally is good. This one put up by Egner, and he's able to hit a three-pointer to make it 31-22. So the captains lead here now by 9. Quick first half. We're down to 3:45 left in this first half. Knights will try to respond to that CNU three-pointer. Prisby splitting a double team, and finally his foul is called on the defender. Egner will pick it up. I was going to say earlier that for Prisby, and maybe it really depends on how the game's being called. Sometimes, you go down low with no real purpose or intent of actually making the shot, just looking to draw the contact. Probably not a good strategic move tonight with this game not really being called tight.
Yeah, as you see, like you mentioned, that's a perfect point that the refs aren't calling it tight. They're letting them play. But that kind of is Prisby's game. He kind of needs to do what he's good at. Anytime he's got the ball in his hands, there's good things can happen. The Knights are playing pretty sound defensively. Other than McFarland hitting those threes, they've played pretty well. They've just got to find a way to get a hand in those faces, and then they got to pull down all the rebounds that they can.
Prisby at the foul line, and he misses a foul shot again. Missed a couple earlier. So right now 31-23 your score. McFarland is back out there. They didn't let him sit too long. Gibbs down low, Stubbs up and good. That is Marquis Stubbs to make it 33-23. Lead is now 10.
That was a really good offensive possession. A lot of ball movement by CNU. Kind of got the Knights confused what they were doing on defense and got the easy layup.
Rumbaugh working on McFarland. Good spin move, and he got the shot to go. Boy, Aaron Rumbaugh is having a nice first half.
Yes, he is. Being aggressive, looks good. Good footwork on that shot right there.
Pulls the Knights to within 8. 33-25. This is Gibbs. Now to Guyman. Stubbs with it, back to Guyman. He goes baseline. Nothing there. Over to the right side for Gibbs, and he hits a three-pointer. Luther Gibbs, the 6-foot sophomore, making it 36-25, and now CNU is starting to heat up from three-point range.
You couldn't count on them shooting so bad from three all night long. They eventually were going to find their stroke and start sinking them.
Brown to Armstrong. Now the Knights try to lob it down low for Rumble. A lot of contact, and we're going to have a foul call. Going to go against Brock Guyman, the freshman, battling with Aaron Rumbaugh. As Jaron Anderson will check back in, replacing Prisby.
They need to find Jaron Anderson. He needs to touch the ball. He's so dangerous from three when he starts heating up, but he's got to get his touches.
I believe he's only got 2 shots tonight so far. Alec Johnson thought about taking the jumper. Anderson fakes the top of the key three, drives, and he got it.
And, man, if he can drive and finish at the bucket as well, it's just going to open up three-pointers for him. Teams are going to have to respect his ability to take him off the dribbles.
Stubbs drives right back. He had his shot rim out. Rebound Knights, down by 9. Knights looking to run the break. Here's Johnson trying to go all the way. Drops it off to Spencer Brown. He couldn't get the shot to go. He got knocked from behind.
You gotta finish that one. Great pass by Alec Johnson.
Boy, Alec Johnson's had some great assists this year. Good playmaker. Here's Gibbs driving. Left-hand layup, no good. Knocked out of bounds. Nice ball.
I mean, they're hanging tough right now. They're playing really tough, playing with a lot of intensity. I like what I'm seeing. The three-point game has really been the difference for them tonight, though, so far. And if they can start getting out on defense and they got to start hitting threes of their own, they're right in this thing.
But as you mentioned, especially if CNU really heats up from three-point range, you got to be able to hit shots close in that are wide-open looks.
Yeah, exactly. Spencer Brown has to finish that, and that's where you miss Cale Thornton and Tyler McCready, because those are guys who are going to get the ball down low like that, and they're probably going to dunk it, put it right back up, go strong with the dunk finish.
Yeah, the only way you're going to stop those two guys is if you're really fouling them.
Exactly.
Here's Anderson driving, and he lost control of the ball. Turns, tries to shoot, is blocked. Here comes Guyman for CNU. He gets the ball to the left side to Egner, back to Guyman, into Marine, and he scores. No, it rolls off, and the rebound to Spencer Brown. So the Knights still trail by 9 with 65 seconds to go. Here's Rumbaugh, pull-up jumper, good.
Good shot by Rumbaugh. Good thing he made that. He had Jaron Anderson right behind him wide open for a three, but Rumbaugh's feeling it tonight.
36-29. Under a minute to go to halftime. 7-point lead for the Captains. Lob down low. Marine got free and scores.
Rumbaugh almost picked that ball off, intercepted the pass, but just out of his reach for the easy layup.
About a 9-second differential between shot clock and game clock. So the Knights could not hold for the last shot of the half. Rumbaugh looking for a foul line jumper, down low to Brown, and he scores.
Rumbaugh doing it all tonight with that no-look pass. Nice feed to Spencer Brown, and way to finish that time by the big man down low.
And now the Captains will go for the last shot of the half, 38-31. See who takes this shot. It'll be Gibbs from long distance, missing. And the rebound, Guyman at the buzzer, hits.
Dang.
Hits with about a second to go, and there was a situation where Gibbs took that three really early in the count as far as the game clock was concerned. There was Seth, and he missed it, but there was enough time for the Captains to tip the ball over to Guyman for the shot that made it 40-31 at halftime.
Yeah, you got to pull down rebounds. That's a killer at the end of the half. The Knights have really played well, though. They've evened up the rebound count a little bit. It's 19-18 in favor of CNU. You know, down 9, not what you exactly want to see on the scoreboard, but I think the game is closer than the scoreboard really tells. CNU's just been able to hit a few more threes, and that's kind of been the difference here tonight.
And let's not forget that 11-0 run, basically by Aaron McFarland, that made a 17-17 game into a 28-17 game. And ever since that run by one personal player, McFarland, who had 3 threes and a layup, the Knights have been playing catch-up.
Yeah, exactly. And as far as the three-point count goes, CNU has made 5 of 14. The Knights have made 2 of 6. So really, it's a 9-point game. They've made 3 more threes. That's your math right there. That's the difference. You know, it's going to be interesting as they come out in the second half. I expect them to come out fast and hard and try and get quick possessions and get them running. if you can tire out this CNU team, maybe their shooting percentage is going to go down, and McFarland especially might not be able to hit as many threes.
And a great first half by Aaron Rumbaugh, who was really able to score at will, and he was really doing it from inside and outside.
Yeah, Rumbaugh has been a leader on this team, a guy you trust with the ball, a guy you trust to run the offense, and he looks like he's in a rhythm, like he's really feeling it, not just shooting, but seeing the court really well, finding his teammates under the basket. And looking forward to see what he does here in the second half. And our halftime score again here from the Knight Sports Arena, it is Christopher Newport 40 and Southern Virginia 31. We'll take this little break here from the Knight Sports Arena here at halftime.
Welcome back to the Knight Sports Arena. Jim Bresnahan and Seth Hansen again back here with you at the Knight Sports Arena. Halftime, it is Christopher Newport 40, Southern Virginia 31, and we look at the halftime stats, and Aaron Rumbaugh leading the way for the Knights with 12 points. He actually leads all scorers, leading Christopher Newport in scoring. Aaron McFarland, he had 11 points, and he had all 11 points in that run that turned out a 17-17 game into a 28-17 lead for the Captains.
Yeah, McFarland's 11-point run really proved to be the difference in the second half. The Knights have kept it close. I mean, they're within 10, they're at 9 right now, and the difference have been those three-point shots. But look for Aaron Rumbaugh to keep rolling right now. 12 points in that first half, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. They need him to keep driving the ball and keep doing his thing, because the better he does, it's going to open up more opportunities for the guys around him.
And the question, I guess, for the captains will be, can McFarland maybe capture that hot scoring streak a little bit here in the second half, and whether he can or can't, can the captains get maybe 2 or 3 other guys to add with him to the scoring?
Yeah, as the Knights go out to prepare for this defensively, it'll be interesting what defensive adjustments Coach Caputo has made. You can't just sell out to stop McFarland, because CNU has guys, they have guys who can score across the board. But what you got to do is you just got to keep track of him on defense. Whoever's with him, it's got to stay hip to hip with him, because he can hit 3 from just about anywhere. 9
turnovers for the Knights in that first half. Not really a bad number, but you look at the Captains, they only had 2 turnovers in the first half.
Yeah, as far as turnover games, or games with turnovers have gone for the Knights, this is probably one of their better performances. Again, 9 in the first half isn't horrible. There's always room for improvement. But you're probably going to need less than 9. You're going to need closer to less than 5 probably to really have a shot here tonight. But they're playing tough. I like the energy, and I like the attitude and aggressiveness they're playing with. They just got to fine-tune a few of the things across the board.
Again, in women's action tonight, in the first game of this doubleheader, Christopher Newport defeated Southern Virginia 92-57. Coming up on Saturday, we'll have both games for you, men's and women's action. Women's first, Saturday 1 o'clock against Salisbury, to be followed by the Salisbury-Southern Virginia men's game. And if the Knights cannot rally here and pull the upset against CNU, both the men's team and the women's team for Southern Virginia really will be in need, I think, Seth, on Saturday, of getting a home win against Salisbury if they really have hopes of making the top 6 and making the Capital Conference postseason tournament.
Oh, yeah, that quickly becomes the most important game of the year for them, because they've got to get that win, as you mentioned. Both teams do.
Knights would like to pull the upset tonight, though, here against CNU, which they did 3 years ago, beat them in overtime, 60-59 back in the 14-15 season. And we'll see how this opening few minutes of the second half goes as Alex Johnson fires the jumper a little bit off balance. Johnson almost had the rebound, but stepped on the end line trying to grab it before it went out of bounds, and so it's going to be Captain's basketball.
I think you're going to see a lot of those mid-range jumpers from Alex Johnson, from Aaron Rumbaugh. They did that in the first half, and it's worked for him. That's kind of a high percentage shot for him at the moment. So look for a lot of those, but they got to get the 3-ball going. If they can get the 3-ball going, they'll be able to shorten this lead.
McFarland for the Captains outside with the ball, looking for an opening. Gets a pick, fires the 3-point jumper, and hits again.
And that was pretty good defense by Kellen Winslow. He kept up with him pretty well, had a hand in his face, but McFarland just too good on that shot.
That is his 4th 3-pointer. It is 43-31. Prisby turning it over on the other end. Here come the Captains on the break. Outside with the ball, Cutchellis driving and shooting, scoring, and suddenly the Captains have a 14-point lead. Knights don't want to go too long without maybe taking a timeout to try to stop this scoring streak by the Captains. They've started off the second half with a 5-0 run, and right there is a timeout.
As you mentioned, yeah. Yeah, they need to start pushing the ball. They need to just kind of push the tempo and get some of that momentum back in their favor.
Captains on top here, 45-31. We'll break away for this message from the Knight Sports Arena.
I'm Michael Gibbons. I've been here since 2003. I am currently the Dean of Students and Vice President of Student Life. I'm new in that role, but I've been at the school for some time. You know, being in a small community, I like the fact that I can ride my motorcycle. I'm not scared to get out on the roads here. It's a safe, fun little community. I think the main reason students need to consider SVU is the unique education that we offer as a whole individual. We do the academic thing really well, but there's also social growth and spiritual growth and emotional growth. As a parent, I had 4 children who have attended here. I wouldn't pick any other school for my children over SVU.
We mentioned in the women's game tonight, it was Christopher Newport defeating Southern Virginia 92-57. So again, huge games coming up for the Knights women's team and the Knights men's team on Saturday against Salisbury. Right now, both teams are trying to get over the hump and stay in the top 6 to eventually make the Capital Conference tournament. And if you're going to do that, you got to win your home games against opponents that are pretty much on par with you, like Salisbury.
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup. Hopefully the Knights can rebound here, make this a closer game, and really compete and maybe push for an upset. But you want to build on things. You want to have something to look forward to, something to build on going into Saturday's matchup.
Yeah, still a long way to go in the second half against the Captains, down by 14. And we got an illegal pick, I believe, called on Canlin, trying to spring Alex Johnson loose. And the first team foul of the second half will go against the Knights. That'll be Canlin's first foul. A 5-0 run to start the second half for the Captains, and they're going to try to extend that run. This is Marine with it outside to Gibbs. Lob down low, knocked away by the Knights. Good defense by Southern Virginia there.
Great defense. That looked like Prisby right there who got that.
And stolen right back. Captains take it away on the attempted pass down low to Prisby. Gibbs down low to Marine. He spins, no foul call, and scores.
And the rest really letting everything go underneath the bucket right now.
7-0 run to start the second half for the Captains now. And they've got their biggest lead of the game at 16 points. Knights would like to get Aaron Rumball going. This is Alec Johnson trying to pass it down low to Prisby. Over to Rumball, and he couldn't get the shot to go. Got his own Prisby with the rebound, and a foul call inside. It'll be the first team foul of the second half on CNU.
Good effort there by Prisby. I thought Rumball was going to make that shot, but way to pick up your teammate there by Justin Prisby. It looks like a shooting foul, I thought. Maybe not. No, they're calling it on the ground.
On the rebound. So it'll be a non-shooting foul. Knights will take it out of bounds. Winslow over in the right corner, signaling for the ball. It goes over to Prisby, though, on the left side. Now Johnson with it. And he had the ball knocked away. It's on the floor. And it is picked up by the Captains. And now I think we're going to have a jump ball possession error, which will favor the Captains.
Man, and that's already too many turnovers in this first half. We're not even 3 minutes in, and the Knights have lost the ball a few times here. They need to clean that up.
And all the while, the Captain's been able to score 7 second half points, and a lead for the Captains at halftime has been jumped now to 16 points at 47-31. McFarland, who's got 4 threes in the game, over to Cutch Ellis, down low to Mateen. And now Gibbs with it on the right side. Knights playing some good tight defense. Shot clock is down to 10 for CNU. Gibbs will shoot the 3, and he couldn't hit, but there's Marine with the rebound, and he scores. All the breaks going the Captain's way, 49-31. Steal by the Captains. It's McFarland. He thought about taking the 3. Now Gibbs with it over on the right side. Nice pass down low to Cutch Ellis. He scores. He's fouled by Canlin. And now the lead is 20.
And Canlin trying to play defense, but he did. He got him with the body pretty good. Definitely altered that shot, but impressive finish by the Captains right there.
And now an 11-0 run by the Captains to start this second half. It was 40-31 at halftime, now 51-31. That foul on Canlin was his second. Substitutions coming in for the Knights. Spencer Brown out there now, along with Colson Hardy. Joining Rumball, Alec Johnson.
Jaron Anderson checked into the game as well. Maybe he can get something going offensively. He's such a dynamic player with his length, but he also has a great jump shot, handles the ball well. He's really got to provide something off the bench here.
The lead is now 21, Seth. It's still a lot of time to go in the second half, 16-35, but when you're talking about a 20-point lead, you don't want to go under 10 minutes down by 20.
Yeah, and they've already got 3 turnovers here in the second half. not even 4 minutes in. They've just got to protect the ball better, get better offensive possessions, and start scoring.
Hardy down low to Spencer Brown. He'll work his way in. A wild shot, no foul call. On the floor, picked up by Gibbs. He races up the right side. And now Kutch Ellis will try a three, and he hits.
And that last offensive possession, that's just, I know Spencer Brown trying to make something happen, but they just needed a better shot there. He was pretty far away from the bucket, and that wasn't the most ideal thing for Coach Caputo in that instance.
24-point lead for the Captains, a 15-0 run to start the second half. Anderson gives up his dribble. Hardy with it. Knights looking for some offense. Johnson, baseline, double teamed along the baseline. Shot clock's at 3. Hardy down low. Brown shooting, missing, rebounding. And he lost it on the floor. It's picked up by Gibbs. CNU racing the other way. Outside to Ellis. Now McFarland. He'll shoot a long three and hits again. An 18-0 run to start the second half. And another timeout, it looks like, will be taken. Nope, no signal of the timeout. Now Tony Caputo will get the timeout he was looking for. (58-31) is your score with 15:16 to go.
Boy, and that's certainly not how Coach Caputo imagined this beginning of the second half to go. But, you know, it started with some sloppy passing in the first part of that half there. Just too many turnovers, giving CNU life. They're finding their shot. Obviously, McFarland is picking up where he left off, as well as some other guys on their team. I'm thinking of Gibbs hit a three there, and you know, that's what CNU does. There's a reason they're so good. As you mentioned, right now they kind of have that 33rd ranking in the country,
yep.
and for good reason. They're a good team. They shoot the ball well. And the Knights just haven't been able to do anything on offense.
And if you're Tony Caputo, you really have to take that timeout. You're not really thinking about a comeback right now. You're down by 27. There's still lots of time to go, 15-16 on the clock. You just got to settle your team down.
Settle them down. You just want to see how guys respond to the adversity. You want guys who are going to fight and try to get better and not throw in the towel, because it's easy at times when you get down, and sometimes it's easy as an athlete to just kind of pack it in. He wants guys who are going to fight and guys he can trust going forward in this season.
And we'll see how the Knights respond after that timeout. This is Rimbaugh, right side. He got bumped, and he almost got the three-point play. He will go, I believe, to the foul line to shoot two, unless the foul is called before he took the shot, which might be the case.
It looked like he waved off the shot, but if I'm Coach Caputo, I tell Aaron Rimbaugh to do his thing offensively, do what he feels is best, because he's the one who's had the most success. He's got a good feel for the game right now, and I'd let him go to work.
Or try to get Jaron Anderson a little bit more involved, maybe. Rimbaugh trying to get it in, gets it way outside to Colson Hardy. Shot clock is at 17 for the Knights. As we close in on the 15-minute mark, Anderson, long three, and he couldn't get it to go. That was a really long three-pointer by Anderson. And ahead, steal by Spencer Brown, taking it away from the 285-pound Chappelle.
That was a great, long shot there, just missed it. That was a great effort play. Just as I mentioned, Coach Caputo was looking for guys who are still going to fight till the end of the game, and that was a great hustle play of Spencer Brown.
He's also looking for three-point shooters. He took out Alec Johnson, who fired that three, and brought in Sam Armstrong. And he's probably thinking, if we can get open looks on a fast break along the perimeter, Sam Armstrong might be the guy I want out there.
Yeah, Armstrong shot well from three this season. Looking for any type of spark here.
Hardy backing his way in. Spencer Brown with the rebound, and he'll go to the foul line. Good offensive rebound there by Spencer Brown.
Yeah, you can't coach effort, Jim. That's the most important thing in an athlete, someone who's going to sell out and give the effort. And Spencer Brown's doing a good job of that right now in these last couple of possessions.
The 6'6" freshman, who is also a member of the men's track and field team. And he'll get a chance to score from the foul line. Finally, the Knights have a point here in the second half. It took over 5 minutes. That was an 18-0 run by the Captains to start the second half. Brown makes them both, 58-33. Hyman working his way up court. Foul will be called on CNU. Illegal pick as Colson Hardy hit the floor. Looks like Chappelle, the 285-pound big guy from South Boston, Virginia, picking up that foul. That's his first. So the Captains have 14 fouls. Knights have 2. Knights will try to work a little closer, down by 25 after they were able to score a couple of foul shots last time down. Anderson thought about the 3, drives instead, got sandwiched, no foul call, ball knocked away, a rim ball picks it up, again no foul call, and the loose ball picked up by the Captains, and then I believe Spencer Brown will be called for the foul along the end line.
The other thing that hasn't really gone in the Knights' favor is that the refs tonight have chosen to let things go and not call a very tight game. It would have benefited the Knights, I believe, to get more of those calls in the paint, as a lot of guys have tried to go inside and draw that contact, but as we mentioned, the refs really letting the game go tonight.
That was Brown's first foul. Captains with a 25-point lead, looking for an opening. Edmonds, jump shot from the right side, no good. Armstrong pulls down the rebound. Sam looks for an opening. He drives and tries to pass. Ball's picked up by Rumbaugh. Brown with a jump shot. He hits.
There we go. That's good to see. Good effort there to track down that loose ball, that rebound, and earned him 2 points.
And the Knights have a little 4-0 run to pull within 23 after being down by 27.
You hear the crowd getting into it a little more.
Chappelle trying to back his way in. Long jumper, right side, good. A three-pointer made by Stubbs. Ever since McFarland hit those 3 in a row back in the first half, his teammates are starting to hit threes now too. 61-35. Hardy, fadeaway jumper. He hits. Colson Hardy.
That was a nice little play there. Nice to kind of wiggle his way into the middle of the paint there, and good body control. Good finish by Colson Hardy.
61-37. Almost a steal by Jared Anderson. Drive to the basket. Shot no good. Chappell out rebounding Armstrong. They'll call the foul on the Knights.
That's a big man down there wrestling for that rebound. As you mentioned, 6'5", I believe, 285.
Facing Sam Armstrong, who's 6 foot but only 195.
Yeah, exactly. Good effort by Armstrong. Resulted in the foul, but good effort to get down there.
And I believe we've got a timeout on the court. 12:47 to go. CNU on top. We'll break away for this message here from the Knight Sports Arena.
Hi, I'm Richard George. I'm one of the vice presidents here at Southern Virginia University. I'm an Olympian. I was also a member of the United States track and field team in 1975. And I think the same qualities, the same motivation, the same drive that makes world-class athletes also makes good students. In college, I did track and field. It worked perfectly for me and my education because I could achieve goals athletically that were very similar to the types of goals that I had academically. As I look at the opportunities here at Southern Virginia University of participating at the NCAA level and also have an unparalleled academic experience coupled with an environment that is LDS standards, I think that combination is hard to find. I don't think there's a better opportunity anywhere on earth to do that.
12:47 to go here in the second half. It is 61-37. CNU on top of the Knights by 24. They led at halftime 40-31. Started this second half set with an 18-0 run, and that's been tough for the Knights to deal with.
Yeah, it's definitely not how they were hoping to start the second half. They've rebounded nicely though here though. They're still playing with a lot of effort. It doesn't look like anybody is taking any plays off. Everyone's giving it all they got. Hopefully they can chip into this lead, if nothing else, just to have something to build on going into Saturday's game. As we talked about, is an incredibly important game in terms of the CAC tournament. They've got to get a win over Salisbury on Saturday.
Yeah, both for the men and the women. The women losing to CNU today, 92-57 in the first game today. And here is with the ball down low. It's Marine, and looks like another foul called on Spencer Brown. That is going to be the 5th team foul on the Knights, and the second personal foul on Spencer Brown, non-shooting foul. You look at the three-point shooting, the captains again really struggled. I think they were 0 for 7, 0 for 8 to start the game, and then McFarland lit up, and it just seems as a team they really picked it up overall from three-point range.
Well, I tell you, Jim, I'm pretty impressed with Spencer Brown right now. That was another hustle play. Got his hand in there to force the steal, and he's taking some shots, some contact as he got fouled there by Marine, but he's playing with a lot of heart right now, which I'm sure is impressing Coach Caputo.
And the referees calling it a lot closer, it looks like, in the second half. Each team now with 5 team fouls.
Yeah, we didn't see that. I think there were 5 fouls called total in that first half.
And Brown's got the ball near the top of the key. Knights down by 24 as we close in on the 12-minute mark. Armstrong, he'll fire the three. Got hit, fell to the floor, no call. Missed the three-pointer. Rebound to the captains. They break the other way. McFarland, who's already got 4 threes today, he thought about taking another one. Captain settling things down, looking for an opening.
Trying to get it into Marine.
And he'll spin for the hook shot and hits.
That's a tough to defend by Spencer Brown. Marine obviously has a lot more experience, a lot more minutes, and the length. He's a little bit taller than Brown, I think.
Yeah, he's 6'7", 210. Brown to 6'6", 190.
And Marine has the reach, it looks like, longer arms, and it's just so hard to defend for Brown, who doesn't have as much experience playing down low like that.
Another team foul on the captains. That'll be the 6th, so the Knights will shoot the 1-1 the rest of the way home of this second half. Trailing, though, by 26 points. And I would imagine the captains, as we go deeper and deeper into the second half with this big lead, they're going to be more and more methodical, you would think, running their offense and just trying to run a little clock each time down.
Yeah, they'll run the clock. They're still going to run their offense, though. They don't want to get away from what they're doing because they have important games, as you mentioned, coming up too.
They go to York coming up on Saturday. York, number 8 in the country, yet to lose this season. Armstrong has it outside. Knights trailing 63-37. Knights have scored 6 points so far in the second half after getting 31 in the first half. Armstrong, jumper blocked by Gibbs. Blocked out of bounds with just 1 second left on the shot clock. As Canlin will check in for the Knights, replacing Spencer Brown, who gave Tony Caputo some good minutes to open up the second half.
He did. Hopefully Canlin can do the same, just effort plays. Good things happen to you when you're given effort. Good things are going to come to you and to your team.
Not a lot you can do with only 1 on the shot clock. Got to throw it towards the basket. And Anderson got the shot away. Not able to hit. But considering there was 1 second on the shot clock, that was a pretty good look.
Yeah, that was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Just couldn't finish at the end.
Boy, Anderson collided bodies with Gibbs, and they do call him for the foul. That'll be the 16th foul on the Knights, and that'll be Anderson's second foul. So both teams will be in the 1-on-1 the rest of the way home. Well, after the long break for Christmas and New Year's, Seth, the students are ready to go back, I guess, to classes, tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't know if ready is the right word, but they're certainly going to go to class tomorrow, so I'm one of them.
Yeah, probably hard to get back in the swing of things as Gibbs scores down low.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a little break, go home, see mom, have some home cooking, and it's tough to come back to my noodles and whatever other college meals I'm going to have.
Knights looking to score here as Armstrong fires the jumper and hits.
That was a great shot off the dribble by Sam Armstrong.
His first 2 tonight. McFarland trying the long 3, no good that time. Armstrong had a look at a 3, didn't take it, now fires the 2, left it short, air ball. Good defense there by the captains. This is Kutch dribbling and trying to get the shot away. Prisby had good defense there, though. Prisby with good defense picks up the loose ball, tries to go coast to coast, and he's blocked.
Looked like he had Jaron Anderson early in that fast break, but chose to hold on to it and gave CNU a time to get back on defense.
Captains, again, as we mentioned, working it around, methodical, running the clock a little bit with the big lead. This is Marine with it. Going through 2 defenders, and a foul is going to be called on the Knights. McFarland, I think, has been the most impressive player today for the captains, but Marine is right there with him, I think.
Yeah, well, and they both play different games, so the more McFarland started shooting and hitting those 3s from deep, it opened up Marine to get some opportunities under the basket as the Knights had to start pushing out and try to get in McFarland's face. But they play well together. Again, there's a reason they're this good.
Yeah, and between them coming into the game today, McFarland averaging just under 18, Marine just over 12, so between them they're averaging about 30 points. Spencer Brown and Kellen Winslow will check back in for Canlon and Jaron Anderson. Knights have really had a hard time getting shots in the second half. One thing we really haven't talked about, Seth, is just how good defensively the Captains are.
Yeah, they play a pretty clean game defensively. Again, not a lot of fouls in this game, which just speaks to how well they've been defending.
And, of course, they also don't have a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, that's usually you want to look at the best teams in the conference. They're the ones who don't turn the ball off, turn the ball over very often.
1 out of 2 from the foul line to make it 66-39. Almost a turnover for the Knights there. Aaron Rumbaugh, who had 12 at halftime. Down low, Spencer Brown off the glass, no good, too strong. And the Captains have the rebound and with a 27-point lead. Spencer Brown will pick up, I believe that's his 3rd foul down low. And Marine will shoot a 1-on-1.
His 3rd personal, 18 fouls. Shooting 1-on-1 for the Captains. Number 14, Spencer Marine.
Well, if the Captains go on to win tonight, they would improve to 5-2 in the conference. York came in 6-0. And if you're the Captains, you'd love to obviously beat York and try to make up a little ground. But then again, I'm sure the Captains are also thinking about just trying to send a message, getting ready for the postseason tournament themselves.
Oh, yeah, every game is important for the Captains for sure. York is that good. They'd love to be a higher seed so that they can have home court advantage. But right now, as you mentioned, York hasn't lost. It's going to be a tough order for them to earn that number 1 seed.
And of course, we saw them last Saturday. The Knights actually led York in the first half by 7 points before York really put it away in the second half.
Yeah, even at halftime, they had a 3-point lead, but York came back strong in the second half and put them away.
As Armstrong had his man up in the air, did not take the shot. Now the shot clock is at 7. And Winslow will fire from the left corner. Too strong, no good. Rumbaugh, great rebound, threw it away, trying to grab it over to Spencer Brown. Throws it out of bounds. Good rebound there by Aaron Rumbaugh, but he was trying to hit Spencer Brown, who was backing his way out, away from the baseline.
And that's kind of lack of having minutes together. I'm sure Aaron Rumbaugh has better chemistry with Cale Thornton and McCready, understanding that situation. Just not as used to Spencer Brown, what he's going to do in that type of play, and it showed right there.
66-39. Knights have only scored 8 points so far in the second half after scoring 31 in the first half. Jumper outside, good. 3-pointer that time by Jason Egner to make it 69-39. A 30-point lead for the Captains, and right now that's their biggest lead so far tonight. Knights will try to respond after that 3-pointer. Winslow firing, and he hits.
Good shot there by Kellen Winslow. Way to not hesitate and just fire away.
69-42. That was Kellen Winslow's 17th made 3 of the season as McFarland gets free. I believe that's his first basket of the second half. He had 11 at halftime, 71-42.
Thought about it. Spencer Brown wanted to take that 3, but
He'll take the foul line jumper, left it short though. Femi for the Captains up court. Sees an opening, tries to go, squeezes it over to Chappelle, and it's an easy 2 for the Captains.
that was great offense right there. Femi knew exactly what Spencer Brown was going to do, try and block that shot, and he knew he had Chappelle right behind him.
73-42, 31-point lead now. Biggest lead so far for the Captains. Spencer Brown, he has got that 3-point shot, doesn't take it. Armstrong will fire and hits his second basket.
That's a good shot for Sam Armstrong. He needs to take more of those as the season progresses.
Yeah, he's got a really great shot. I'd love to see him shoot more, just like Jaron Anderson.
Right, he usually comes in kind of as a 3-point specialist, but he's got such a nice shot. He can shoot that mid-range.
3-pointer up and good by Egner. Jason Egner, the freshman guard out of Fairfax, Virginia, 76-44. And when you consider how CNU shot three-pointers in the first 5 or 10 minutes of this game, the way they're going to end up is amazing.
And that's kind of what you expect. You know, CNU is a really good team in this conference. They have been for a few years. You have to anticipate that they're going to start heating up from deep. You know, you're not going to anticipate them to shoot as poorly as they did in the first half.
Media timeout.
And we've got a media timeout, 6:26 to go. Knights trailing here by 32, and we'll break away for this message from Southern Virginia University. Welcome back to Southern Virginia University, the Night Sports Arena. I'm Jim Bresnahan, joined by Seth Hansen, bringing you all the action tonight between the captains of CNU and the Knights of Southern Virginia University. Right now, it's all CNU, 76-44. Captains on top by 32. They led it at halftime, really only by 9 points. It was a pretty close game at halftime, but then they started the second half with an 18-0 run to go up by 17 points, and ever since then, the captains have just been pulling away from the Knights.
Yeah, and you know, they played the first half pretty tough. CNU wasn't shooting their best, but the Knights offensively have really been hurt. We mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, Cale Thornton and Tyler McCready both out this game, not playing due to injuries between last week and this week of practice. It's been a tall order asking Canlin to come in and Spencer Brown come in and fill their shoes, and it just hasn't been the same. They've put in great effort, but you really need those guys who've been your rock offensively throughout this season.
Captains now are 11 of 23 from three-point range. They only have 6 turnovers for the game. The Knights have 15, and the Captains also have a slight rebounding edge at 30-27.
Yeah, it's good to see the rebounds being so close. Good efforts there for the Knights, but the shooting percentage, you know, there's a wide difference there.
Armstrong makes the first foul shot. We talked about that 18-0 run again. It was 9 points at halftime, 40-31. By the time that 18-0 run is done, it goes from 9 points to 27 points, and that was just really impossible for the Knights to respond to.
Yep. You're looking at the Knights, or excuse me, the Captains right now, CNU, they're shooting 73% in the second half, 66% from three-point land, and that's just so tough.
Spencer Brown, good defense with the interception.
Great anticipation there by Spencer Brown, but you've got to find some offense here.
Johnson going through a double team, gets it over to Jaron Anderson for the three-pointer. That one's too strong. Winslow with the rebound. Good rebound by Kellen Winslow. He went to the floor, lost it, tied up. And it looks like it's going to favor the Knights.
Boy, doesn't it feel like in the second half, at least Spencer Brown has been around the ball. Every whistle, he's around there getting after it. It's the third or fourth time he's ended up on the ground selling out for his team. Good effort there. And
it is a foul call. So Brown, the freshman, will go to the foul line. Armstrong checking out. Deshaun Cottle will check in his first appearance. Sean, a senior who attended high school in Japan, and Brown nails the foul shot. Maybe even when Thornton and McCready come back the way Spencer Brown has played, maybe giving him a few more minutes.
He's certainly, put in the effort. In my eyes, he's earned it. It'll see what Coach Caputo thinks, but I think Spencer Brown has been one of the few bright spots in this game for the Knights.
And Brown now in double figures. He's got 10 points for the game. So it's a 76-47 lead for the Captain. Captains lob it down low. Now back out. Edmonds with it. Drive to the basket, missed. Alec Johnson will work his way up court. Now Cottle. Johnson trying to get it down low to Spencer Brown. Gets up the loose ball. Jaron Anderson, right side, and he's fouled.
Good take there. I thought Jaron Anderson was going to try and force up the three, but he wisely put it on the floor, went to the bucket, and drew the contact.
Shooting 1-1 for the Knights. Number 21, Jaron Anderson.
Ever since the Knights gave up that 18-0 run to start the second half to fall behind by 27, they've more or less played the Captains pretty even since then, but that was just a killer 18-0 run.
Yeah, it came out cold, weren't able to shoot, really weren't finding their shots very well, had too many turnovers.
And right now the lead is 28 for the Captains. CNU won the women's game tonight, 92-57 over Southern Virginia. So both the men's and women's team here from Southern Virginia University will have a home game, a huge home game coming up on Saturday, taking on Salisbury.
Yeah, you know, it's back to the drawing board. You've got a few days, good days to get in some practice. It's a home game, a real opportunity to get back on track and make some noise going towards that tournament at the end of the season.
Salisbury is slightly under, record-wise, the Southern Virginia women's team, and slightly ahead of the men's team. But in each case, that's the kind of team you're battling for when you want to try to get into the top 6 of the Capital Conference to make the postseason tournament. As Brandon Caputo is going to check in for Kellen Winslow, and this will be Brandon Caputo's first appearance tonight. So I believe everybody on the Southern Virginia University bench has now played.
We thought that might be the case, again, having those two starters out, or two role players out, I should say. Thought they were going to get deep into their bench tonight.
Roberts with a turnaround. He is fouled. Nate Roberts, a junior out of Fairfax. Fouled by Spencer Brown, who just picked up his 4th. That's the only thing we talked about. Spencer Brown's had really a good offensive game. He's got 10 points in double figures, but he's a very physical player, and he could well foul out of this game. He's just picked up his 4th foul, although there's only 4 minutes and 44 seconds left in the game, and Canlin is ready to check in, maybe for Brown.
Well, Spencer Brown has certainly left it all on the court. He's made the most of his minutes, including using up all those fouls. But, you know, he's came out, had a real good game. He's a young player. You know, he's got a future here in Coach Caputo's system. You know, you're going to see Cale Thornton leave. You're going to see McCready leave eventually. So a lot of bright spots here, a lot of good things coming in the future for the Knights.
He fits right in, too, obviously spelling McCready and Cale Thornton, and maybe could spell them a little bit more perhaps down the road as Cottle tried to lay up, couldn't get it to go.
Well, especially with those two coming back from injury, who knows how long it is till they're 100%. If Coach Caputo wants to put them on minutes restrictions, you could see, like you mentioned, Spencer Brown playing a lot more.
Layup attempt no good by the Captains, but they're going to call a foul on the Knights. Canlin will pick up his 3rd. And Liam Harrington, a freshman from Herndon, Virginia, will go to the foul line. Armstrong back in for Alec Johnson. Well, 3 years ago, the Knights beat CNU in overtime, pulled the upset. CNU was in the top 25, and the Knights won that game 3 years ago, 60-59 in overtime. And they played them tough in the first half, only trailed by 9 at halftime, but the Captains have pulled away here in the second half. Anderson, 3, missed it. Captains will slow it down, work the clock a little bit. Edmonds, 3-pointer, no good. Strong rebound by Jaron Anderson. Armstrong had the chance there to pull up for the 3, did not take it. Canlin will take the jumper from the outside, no good. Captains working the clock again. Edmond, fadeaway jumper, couldn't get it to go. Cottle battles for the rebound. And Kashan will try to go all the way, and he scores.
Great hustle by Kashan there. Good work, good footwork, and nice touch and finish on the layup on the other end.
77-50. This is Roberts for the Captains. Backs his way in and misses. Knights grab the rebound with 2:53 to go.
talking about Kashawn Cottle, number 5. I've had a class or two with him since my time here at Southern Virginia. Really humble kid, really well-liked kid. As Canlin pulls up and hits from 3.
That's Canlin hitting a three-pointer.
Work. But Kashawn,
and I think that's his first 3 of the season.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Kashawn, just a really well-liked kid around campus, just an all-around good kid who keeps his head down but really humble and works really hard.
Foul called on the Knights. That was actually the first three-point attempt by Canlin, and he made his first three-point attempt of the season to make it 77-53. Foul was called on Jaron Anderson, his 3rd. Harrington missing another foul shot. Adrian Beasley, a freshman who has received a lot of playing time this season. Getting into the game late. Not sure if he's off an injury, just maybe rehabbing his way back in slowly. You can see, though, how deep this captain's team is as far as their roster is concerned, especially since Marcus Carter, one of their top players, hasn't played a whole lot this year.
Yeah, it's forced them to rely on some other guys getting more meaningful minutes for them.
And the captain's hitting a 3 from the right side. That was Egner hitting another 3.
It's like a timeout just for the substitution here.
81-53, 28-point lead now for the Captains. They've scored 41 second-half points. Knights only 22 in the second half after 31 at halftime. Cottle driving, fouled. He'll shoot foul shots.
Another good drive by Kashawn. He's being aggressive. He's not scared to go down there in deep into the paint, and he earns those 2 foul shots.
Shooting 2 for the Knights, number 5, Kashawn Cottle.
Cottle 6 of 6 from the foul line this season. That basket that he made just a few seconds ago, that was his first basket of the season. He had 6 points coming in, all from the foul line. His first miss from the foul line this year. .54. Knights will have to go on the road to Christopher Newport on February the 7th. They're going to have to play York on February the 3rd, a Saturday, and then turn right around on a Wednesday and play at CNU on February the 7th. Talk about brutal back-to-back road games.
Yeah, that's as tough as it comes, especially on the road. But you know what? They probably feel real good going back to York. It's never a fun place to play, but they played them well. They did some good things, and I'm sure Coach Caputo will have them ready to go and maybe pull the upset.
For the Knights, number 21, Jaron Anderson.
For more immediate nature again, the Knights have Salisbury coming up on Saturday before they hit the road for 3 straight road games. On Wednesday the 17th at Frostburg, on the 20th at Wesley, and on the 24th at Mary Washington. As Anderson hits the first foul shot. You know, Aaron Rumbaugh had 12, I believe, at halftime, but he just never could get into a groove in the second half, and maybe credit that CNU defense for really keeping the ball away from Aaron Rumbaugh when he was out there.
Yeah, I'm sure they were targeting him as he was the only one really getting it going in the first half. Made it a point to stop him in the second.
3-pointer from outside is no good by Beasley. 81-56, closing in on the 1-minute mark. Anderson driving, fouled. He'll go back to the foul line.
I think these are important minutes for Jaron Anderson right now. We've seen what he's capable of early in the season, as we mentioned. Hasn't found his groove in these last few games. So these last few minutes might be important for him to get some touches and try to find his rhythm back.
He came in averaging 8.3 a game. He had some games back in late November, early December where he was hitting over 20.
Yeah, and 3-point range was kind of his comfort zone for a while there. I'm sure Coach Caputo would love to see him regain his form and have that late in the season.
81-57, under 60 seconds to go in the game now. And CNU won the women's game 92-57 tonight over Southern Virginia. Leading by 24 here in the men's contest. Jumper no good by the captains. Foul, Beasley behind Canlon. And Canlon will go the other way to shoot some foul shots. He'll shoot 2. Both teams obviously by now in the double bonus.
Boy, it's been the opposite of the first half, right? Each team.
Like 180 degrees opposite.
Yeah, each team with 10 team fouls, whereas I think, if I remember, I think it was 5 fouls combined in that first half. That was it.
One more for Bennett Canlon. Sophomore from Carlisle, Pennsylvania. He got 1 out of 2. 81-58, 44 seconds to go.
Good defense by Cottle there. Take away that lane.
Still 10 on the shot clock for the captains. Good give and go, and the shot up and in by Harrington with just 20 seconds to go in the game. 83-58, 25-point lead for CNU. Cottle gets it off to Anderson. And now Caputo with it. 7 seconds to go. Caputo couldn't get the shot to go, and that'll do it. Captains are going to win this one 83-58. And with the victory, the captains are now 5-2 in the conference, and they are 11-3 overall in the season. And Seth, the Knights now drop to 2-5 in the Capital Conference and 7-7 overall in the season. They'll be playing a Salisbury team that is just ahead of them on Saturday. So it's an important game again coming up on Saturday for both the men's and the women's team here at Southern Virginia taking on Salisbury.
Yeah, and this is one for the Knights that they kind of just, you've got to move past it as soon as you can. You don't want to make excuses because a loss is a loss, but understanding that both Kale and Tyler McCready were out in this game, you had to rely on some younger players to play the big man spot. And the best thing you can do is just focus on Salisbury now, focus and get ready because you need that win. You need it.
Now, when you look at some of the stars tonight for the Knights, Aaron Rumbaugh had a good first half. Spencer Brown gave Tony Caputo a lot of good minutes.
Yeah, and Spencer Brown, he's not going to light up the stats category at this point in his career, but it was evident throughout the game. In his minutes, he was giving hustle and giving effort. We mentioned as a coach, you can't coach effort. That's just something that's determined by the player, how much effort he wants to give. And Spencer Brown, a huge bright spot as he was giving 100% that whole game.
So that's going to wrap things up here from the Knights Sports Arena. Again, an impressive victory tonight for the CNU captains. They defeat Southern Virginia. Final score again, it was 83-58, the captains over the Knights. Make sure you join us on Saturday for Southern Virginia basketball. The women taking on Salisbury Saturday at 1 o'clock to be followed by the men's contest. And we'll have the doubleheader coming up for you on Saturday. I'm Jim Bresnahan for Seth Hansen and all of us here at Southern Virginia University. Thanks again for joining us, everyone, tonight for Knights basketball.